Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Luann. Thank you so much for being here. Today I'm doing something a little different. I've been doing a couple videos on how different types are in seduction. This video is different because never in my life have I ever been pursued by an INFJ to be my friend or in any kind of romantic relationship. Never. And I'm friends with Frank now, but that may be more out of a charity case than anything. I don't want to speak for Frank, but he's a very kind man. But I don't understand because I have a history in my life of INFJs not being that into me. But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about what I think INFJs would be like in seduction and in romantic relationships and in love. And I'm just going to do it based off of my thoughts on INFJs and what I know about INFJs. So chances of me being wrong are very high, but I do not feel like you should blame me. I feel like you should blame your fellow INFJs for no one ever in their life pursuing me. I would know more if y'all wanted to be friends with me. So let's get right into it. So first thing that I think that INFJs would be like in relationships in a different way than me is that I could see INFJs being in a relationship where you guys probably would enjoy sharing. I have a hair scratching my face. Wanting to share your deepest, darkest thoughts and secrets with your partner. And I would assume that because my assumption is that INFJs in relationship would want to feel connected to their partner in a way that comes with sharing your deepest, darkest secrets. Whereas my INTP husband and I, we just don't worry about telling each other our deepest, darkest secrets by observing. I assume he knows everything about me because he goes stalker style and, you know, reads emails and like he's got my passwords for everything. Not because he doesn't trust me. I mean, maybe he doesn't, but more out of just nosiness, and I forget my passwords all the time, so he has to know them so that I can get into my stuff. So I assume he knows most everything about me, but we don't have those bonding conversations that I would assume that INFJs would want to have with their partners to get to know their deepest, darkest, you know, parts of their soul. Like I could see INFJs wanting to bond in a relationship in a different way than me as an ESTP. There's also controversy about my type, but my husband and I, in a different way than my husband and I bond. When I was thinking about this, I was envisioning an INFJ because I could also see INFJs being a little more romantic than my husband and I are. I could see INFJs like taking their person, say if it's a guy, taking their person to a fancy dinner and getting dressed up and being romantic and like doing the rose petal thing and like the romantic getaway and the honeymoon. And whereas my husband and I, we just don't do any, like we're just very practical couple that just, we don't do that kind of thing. But I could see an INFJ enjoying being in those situations and then also providing those situations for their other person. Am I wrong about that? Another thing that I was thinking about it because I was thinking, now I wonder if an INFJ would be a pursuer in a relationship. So say you saw somebody in life that you are attracted to. Do you come across people in life where you're like, I want to be friends with them, I'm going to pursue them? And what is it about the people that you want to have in your life that makes you want to pursue them? Or, because I was also thinking about this, like it's a little hard for me to see INFJs being the pursuer unless, there's one unless in this, but I'm gonna wait for that until after I say this. I could more likely see INFJs being pursued and then that's how the relationship comes about. I would say I could see that being more likely than the INFJ being a pursuer. Now, I can see an INFJ being a pursuer if somebody is like, I don't like to put people in classes, but like say say if somebody is reaching in a relationship, like say a 7 is going for a 10, I would say that if an INFJ is a 10, then they will not, they would not reach, but they would go after somebody that's more like a 7. So what I'm saying is I can't see an INFJ reaching. Am I wrong about that? Because I could be wrong about that. And this comes back to my thoughts that I feel like INFJs have this vulnerable side to them. Just this vulnerability that even though I feel like INFJs, in my mind, INFJs are just so sharp. But at the same time, I see them as being extremely vulnerable. So that's how I came up with that. So if I'm wrong about that, please tell me in the comments about your relationship, if you have been the pursuer or if you were pursued. Now, I also could see INFJs in relationships where they save the damsel in distress. Got that one. Damsel in distress. So I could see INFJs coming into a relationship with a broken person. I mean, I don't like to say broken people because, I mean, we all have like scars and bruises and, you know, that have made us who we are in this life. But I could see INFJs enjoying being in a relationship where they could really add value to somebody that's been through tragedy, or that they need to provide what the INFJ is really good at, which is, you know, loyalty and kindness. And I could also see an INFJ being the type of person that wants to provide a really good life for their partner. So the way in my mind that makes sense is that I could see an INFJ wife really working hard to keep a good home, to bond and want to talk to her husband, to support his dreams and his ambitions and his goals, and to help make that happen. So in my mind, kind of how, and then if it's a husband, I could see a husband, INFJ husband, wanting to provide a good home for his wife and his children, and really feeling proud to see their spouse. And I mean, that may just be human nature, that most people would want that. But then again, like, I feel like INFJs in relationship would really be bonded with their partner, and in a way that I wouldn't see ENTJs being. ENTJs, I would see them bonding with their partners in a different way than an INFJ. An INFJ feeling very connected, like your success is my success. Whereas an ENTJ, I'm happy you're here, I love you a lot, but I got this. Whereas an INTJ, I could see them wanting to go through this life together as a partnership. I did not do a good job explaining that, but hopefully you, as INFJs who can understand people very well, can get what I'm saying. If somebody can explain that and unpack that in a better way in the comments, will you please do that for me? Now let's see, where was I at? Also, a fun thing I was thinking about when I was thinking about this whole concept is that I don't know that I've ever seen my husband cry. We've been together for 7 years and I've never seen him cry. He's seen me cry, but he didn't put up with seeing me cry for probably the first 3 years of our marriage. And I wouldn't see INTJ or INFJs being like that. I would see that INFJs would, did I say this earlier, would bond over like an emotional experience together. Whereas like if my husband and I go through an emotional experience together, we bear with each other as we get through it. We don't bond during that time, we bear with it. If that makes any kind of sense. We'll love you despite this is probably our approach. Whereas I could see an INFJ being like, I will love you more because of this. So those are just some of my thoughts on how I would think that an INFJ would be in relationships. Again, if anyone had wanted me to get close to them, close enough to know them better, I would know a lot more. So please go ahead and put your thoughts in the comments, and remember to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for helping me out on the topic of INFJs. My name is Luann.